Hello children, welcome again for the new session of revision. Chapter 6, Physical and Chemical Changes. Up till now we have already learned about some physical changes and chemical changes. Physical changes means properties such as shape, size, color and state of a substances are called its physical properties. In case of physical changes, there is no new substance is formed, but in case of chemical changes, sometimes one new substance is forming, sometimes more than one new substances are forming. So yesterday, the previous video, we have already learned some activities and experiments about the chemical changes. Along with the new substances, some other changes are also accompanying. That means during the chemical reaction, sometimes heat and light is producing, sometimes sound produced, sometimes a change in smell may take place or a new smell may be given off, a color change may take place, a gas may be formed. All these are happening during the chemical changes. Okay children, today we are going to learn about some other new topics. Okay, let's begin the lesson now. Children, today's our first topic is rusting of iron. Yesterday, in the previous video, I have already explained about the rusting of iron. Okay, let us continue today also. This is one change that affects iron particles and slowly destroys them. This rusting, it is happening to the iron particles and slowly destroy the iron particles. Since iron is used in making bridges, ships, cars, truck bodies and many other articles, you may be knowing that so many things around us are made of iron. Okay, the monetary loss due to the rusting is very big one. That means after some time, first we are using this iron articles, it is well, good and fine, but after 2-3 months we can see that some rusting is happening on the surface of this iron particles. The process of rusting can be represented by the following equation. Listen children, I have given one equation on the screen. You can see that iron plus oxygen. Oxygen from where we are getting? From the air of the atmosphere. Okay, iron plus oxygen plus water, that gives rust. For rusting of the material, 3 things are needed. Generally, iron materials, iron articles only getting rusting. Iron is there and iron react with oxygen and water. Then rust is forming. For rusting, the presence of both oxygen and water is essential. So, whatever these iron articles, if we are keeping outside to expose to the air and water, that time only the rusting is happening. So for rusting of iron material, this oxygen and the water is very essential. That only the equation given, iron plus oxygen and water, that gives a rust. Okay, so for depositing the rust on the surface of the iron particles, we have to stop it. How we can prevent the rusting of the iron particles? That also 2-3 sentences I have written on the screen. How can we prevent the rusting? Okay, let us see that. Prevent the iron particles from coming in contact with the oxygen or water or both oxygen and water. Listen, so we should avoid the contact of iron particles with the oxygen or water. That means we should not keep outside where the water is there, and you should not allow to contact with the oxygen also. And second point, apply a coat of paint or grease. So sometimes it is very difficult to stop the iron particles from oxygen and water. Okay, it will come, rust is happening everywhere, but we have to remove the dust by applying a coat of paint or grease. That you also knowing, in your house the window grills and the doors grills are made of iron only, and after 1 or 2 years you can see that it become rust. So how your parents are removing the dust particles from the windows and grills, you know. So first of all we have to remove the powder from the surface of the windows and grills. After that, what to do? We have to paint it. We have to paint or apply grease on this articles. That way we can prevent the rusting. And the third type of prevention is to deposit a layer of metal like chromium or zinc on iron. So another thing is that we have to deposit a layer of chromium or zinc on the surface of the iron. These are the main three things to prevent the rusting. First of all, to prevent the iron articles from coming in contact with the oxygen or water. We should not allow the iron articles to keep outside. Okay. Second one is to apply the coat of paint or grease. We have to paint this iron articles or we have to apply the grease over that. Third one, to deposit the layer of metals like chromium or zinc on the surface of the iron. So this is the prevention method. The rusting of iron means for rusting of the iron, water and oxygen is very essential, and these are the three prevention method from the rusting of iron. Okay, children? Children, our next topic is galvanization. The process of depositing a layer of zinc on iron is called galvanization. In the previous slide we have learned that to avoid the rusting we are depositing chromium or zinc on the iron articles. So the process of depositing a layer of zinc on iron, that is known as galvanization. The iron pipes we use in our homes to carry water are galvanized to prevent the rusting. The iron pipes only we are using in our house to carry water, so we have to galvanize with the zinc to prevent the rusting. Okay. Now you know that ships are made of iron and a part of them remains under water. That is the one question. The ships are made of iron but half of the ship is under the water. On the part above the water also, water drops keep clinging to the ship's outer surface. Moreover, the water of the sea contains many salt. The salt water makes the process of rust formation very fast. Listen children, salt water will get, wherever the salt water is there, the rusting process is very fast. Therefore, ships suffers a lot of damage from the rusting in spite of being painted. So, if the part of the half of the part of the ship under the water, and generally the water is a sea water, that's salty water, and above the ship also water is every now and then it is depositing. So it is very difficult to maintain the condition of the ship. So the ship suffer a lot of damage from the rusting in spite of being painted. So every now and then we have to paint the ship, otherwise it will get rust very fast. Now so much so that a fraction of ship iron has to be replaced every year. Can you imagine the monetary loss to the world? Every year we cannot make a new ship, we have to change the iron, again we have to make a ship, that is impossible. So wherever it is happening the rusting process, we have to paint it or apply with some other metal to prevent the rusting. Okay. Stainless steel is made by mixing iron with carbon. You are knowing in your house stainless steel vessels are there, that will not get rust. It is made up of by mixing iron with carbon and metals like chromium, nickel and manganese. It does not rust. Why it is not rusting? Because this stainless steel vessels are made by mixing of iron. Iron is there and plus carbon, and also mixed with metals like chromium, nickel and manganese. That is why it is it does not get rust. Okay. So this much only from the galvanization. Galvanization means the process of depositing a layer of zinc on iron. That is the meaning of galvanization. And the pipes which we are using in our homes to carry water are galvanized to prevent the rusting. And stainless steel, how it is made of, because why the stainless steel is not getting rust, that is the meaning. That the answer is this only. The stainless steel is made by mixing iron with carbon and the metals like chromium, nickel and manganese. Because of that reason it does not get rust. Okay children, this much about the galvanization. I hope you have understood this. Today's our last topic is crystallization. Crystallization means some substances can be obtained in pure state from their solutions by crystallization. Okay, I have given one diagram there, that is the crystals of copper sulfate. Okay, let us see one experiment. Take a cup full of water in a beaker and add a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid. Listen children, first beaker we have to take a cup of water. In that water we have to add a few 4 or 5 drops of sulfuric acid. Okay, after adding the sulfuric acid we have to heat the water properly. When it start boiling, add copper sulfate powder slowly while stirring continuously. Now understood what is the experiment? Take a cup of water in a beaker and add dilute sulfuric acid. After that heat the water. When the water start boiling, again we have to add a copper sulfate powder and mix it, stirring it continuously. Continue adding copper sulfate powder till no more powder can be dissolved. Listen, copper sulfate powder we are adding continuously. We have to add and add. First few minutes how much powder we are adding, it is dissolving. After some time we can see that the powder which we are adding is not dissolving, it will be remain like that only. Then in that situation we have to stop adding and after that filter the solution. Allow it cool. After filtering we have to allow the solution to cool. Do not disturb the solution when it is cooling. Look at the solution after some time. After cooling we have to look at the solution. Can you see the crystals of copper sulfate? If not, wait for some more time. So this is the experiment. Take 1 cup of water in the beaker, add few drops of dilute sulfuric acid, then heat the water. After boiling water we have to add a copper sulfate powder and stirring continuously and adding more and more copper sulfate powder till the powder will not dissolve in water. That time when it is stop dissolving in water we have to stop adding also. After that we have to filter the solution and allow the solution to cool. Then after some time we check the solution, you can see anything or not. Can you see the crystals of copper sulfate? If you are not seeing, again wait for some time. So you can see that after cooling we can see the crystals of copper sulfate. So you have learned about physical and chemical changes from this lesson, and we have to try to identify the changes that you observe around you, physical or chemical changes. So in this lesson mainly 2 types of changes we have learned, physical and chemical changes, and we just try to observe the changes which are happening around us, whether it is a physical changes or a chemical changes. So mainly 2-3 points we have learned from this lesson. There are 2 types of changes, physical and chemical changes. Physical changes are changes in the physical properties of substances. No new substances are formed in physical changes. These changes may be reversible. In chemical changes, new substances are produced. Now crystallization. Some substances can be obtained in pure state from their solution by crystallization. So these are the points we have learned from this lesson. Okay children. So the explanation of the lesson number 6, physical and chemical changes, completed. So today we are going to wind up the session. I will come with another video with another topic. Till then keep learning and take care. Okay, thank you.